Paul gives thanks for each one of us today as he writes to us from 2,000 years ago, because of what the power of the Holy Spirit has accomplished in each of our lives. That power of the Holy Spirit is a mystery. It's active in our lives even before our baptisms. But at our baptism, that same Holy Spirit leaves upon each of our souls an indelible mark that cannot be seen by the rest of the world, but that our souls are now marked, and we no longer belong to the world, but we belong to God. And we hear in the gospel today that the Pharisees and the Herodians are trying to trip up Jesus. And he recognizes their malice towards him. And so when he answers his question, he holds up this coin. What are the markings on it? Since it's Caesar's coin, give it back to Caesar. But the flip side of that refers to our markings. How are you and I marked? Well, through our baptism, we're marked as belonging to God. So what do we give back to God? So we need to look at and making sure our priorities are correct. God first, then ourselves, our families. Church comes down here. Okay? Sometimes they get mixed up and church gets up there too high. Church is down there a little bit. So, but you look at yourself and you say, okay, I have to put God first in my life. How do I do that? What is it that God asks of each of us? Well, you've heard that often enough too. Love God with your whole mind, your whole body, your whole being, and your neighbor as yourself. So you need to get your spirituality going first of all. You need to establish that relationship with the Lord. You need to have some sort of prayer life. You need to be reading the scriptures. You need to be attending a church, even though church is down on the list and not right up there. But it's one of those things we do to make sure that we're interacting with other people of faith and with our God and giving him worship and praise. Then we need to take care of ourselves. Are we doing what we need to do to live healthy and productive lives? Or are we squandering them somehow? Some of us have all sorts of issues that we have done in our lives that have not always been the best choices. And we have to give those things over to Jesus to transform so that we can go forth and live a better life. And then we start taking a look at those others, our families, our church members. Are we loving them as God tells us to? Are we truly concerned for them, or they're only there when we know them or need something? Or are we the go-to person that they come to when they need something? Giving back to God is a very personal response. I can't stand up here and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. You need to open yourself up in prayer and see what it is that God is calling you to do, to build up your own spiritual life, to build up your family relationships, to build up your community relationships here within the church and outside of the church. In that way, not only do you render to Caesar the tax money or take part in public life on election day, but through your prayerful participation and relationship with God, you render back to God that which belongs to him: your soul, your love, your body.